romantic relationships or platonic relationships. None of them are going to flourish unless you show up for yourself and really be your own best friend. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome back to my channel. But I always mess this up. Welcome back to my channel. But if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. My name is Morgan Valdes, and welcome back to another episode of the Morgan Diaries. But on this episode, we're back at it. We're giving another episode of unsolicited advice that you guys did not ask for, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. And with that being said, this episode's advice is about one of the most important relationships you'll ever have on this earth, okay? The most important relationship you'll ever have in your entire life. And that's the one you have with yourself. But before we jump right in, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and do all of that good housekeeping things that we normally do right before, we lock into a YouTube video. With that being said, we're really gonna break down what it truly means to be your own best friend, okay? So if you've been kind of struggling with it, you've been feeling like, I don't know, people around have been kind of being a little weird, or you just haven't found your tribe yet, you've come to the right place. Whew. Okay, make sure you have something to drink. Our yapping sessions, they can get intense. And I feel like I need to make this a new thing. So in my last yapping session with you guys, I was wearing my pajamas. And I'm wearing my pajamas again. It's like when late night, early mornings hit, I just feel like I gotta get something off my chest, you know what I mean? And I feel like what better way to get it off my chest is to start yapping with you guys. So yes, this video is for my girls who are, I don't know, it can be a whole host of things. It can be the fact that you're struggling with maintaining good friendships. It can be the fact that you're struggling with yourself. It can be the fact that you're struggling with your relationships, your male relationships, whatever the case may be, romantic relationships or platonic relationships. None of them are going to flourish unless you show up for yourself and really be your own best friend. So let's dive right in as it pertains to how we actually do that. And if you guys see me looking off to my side, it's because I have a little bit of notes for you guys. I want to make sure we're staying focused, and I'm giving you the exact pointers that I really have been waiting to give you guys. All right, so you know how we're always showing up for other people? Always hyping them up, always showing them affection, always being someone's shoulder to lean on, or whatever the case may be, even always forgiving other people. It's a lot. It can be exhausting. And I just feel like enough is enough as it pertains to not giving ourselves that same exact grace that we often give to others. I recently have been going through moments where I feel like I show up, I show out, and sometimes it feels like it's not always reciprocated, or like, I don't know, I'm just kind of drained. And it's because I realized, oh my God, I had like this major realization. It's because it's not always easy being your own best friend. I was continuously making sure those I care about are super comfortable, are okay, checking in on them. And I realized I haven't been checking in on myself the way that I've done for others. So I think it's kind of time for a reality check and just another check-in to remind myself and you guys that, you know what, we need to be each other's accountability partners when it comes to being that strong friend for ourselves. So I kind of want to give you guys a bit of a roadmap as it pertains to really being your own best friend. So let's start it off with, what does it really even mean to be your own best friend? Being your own best friend doesn't necessarily mean that you don't need anyone else or that you don't need other best friends. Having other best friends is a beautiful thing. Your relationships with other people are super, super, super important, but they're never going to be amazing unless you have that great relationship with yourself. You need to learn to have your own back first. Honestly, you actually really have to become the person you can trust before you can trust anyone else. The one who keeps all of your secrets safe. Who does that? Who motivates you? It's choosing to speak kindly to yourself even when you mess up. It's also realizing that solitude isn't necessarily loneliness. Sometimes it's your soul asking for space to grow. And just because you don't have that person you feel like you can call every single time something happens, anytime good or bad things happen, it doesn't really matter if you can count on yourself. So how exactly do we build that? All right, so I honestly think that it starts with the way that you talk to yourself. Pay attention to how you're speaking to yourself. Would you talk to your best friend that way? Would you be okay if someone else talked to your best friend that way? Probably not. If you're sitting here not telling yourself that you're beautiful, that you're enough, that you're capable, then you're not doing it right. You're not doing this thing called life correctly. You need to be the nicest person to yourself before you can be the nicest person to anyone else. And honestly, when you're nice to yourself, other stuff doesn't bother you as much because you have a sense of who you truly are. If you're continuously saying to yourself, I'm amazing, I'm this, I'm that, just continuously uplifting yourself, no one can break you down. A way that I kind of do that is I listen to affirmations every single day. It's so hard to always squeeze it in. Sometimes there are days I really don't feel like it. So when I'm waking up and I'm getting ready for work and I'm about to take a shower or whatever the case may be, I put my affirmations on in the background and I just literally talk to myself. There's nothing wrong with talking to yourself. People will be like, oh, you're crazy if you talk to yourself. No, you're not crazy enough if you don't talk to yourself. Wait, that didn't really make sense.
What?
But whatever. See, I'm talking to myself right now because you have to like have a meeting with yourself sometimes. You gotta be like, self, and then proceed with whatever decision or conversation that you feel like you need to check in about. Because you're not always going to have mommy or daddy or bestie or somebody else to check in with, and you need to be able to believe in your own strength and your own wisdom. Drill it into your brain that you are something spectacular. Once you see your value, other people will see your value. And you're not doing this for other people, but I'm just saying that you have to be your biggest advocate for yourself before anything else. Before anything else, okay? Top, middle, and bottom line, you need to be your number one fan. So it definitely starts with self-talk. If you're continuously not hyping yourself up, saying really mean things to yourself, then you're doing it all wrong. So practice replacing criticism with compassion. Instead of I'm so dumb, say, okay, that didn't really go as planned, but I'm learning, and actually learn from that lesson. You have to really build yourself up and check in with, how does Morgan feel today? Is Morgan making the right decision for Morgan? How does this situation make me feel? And again, I wake up and I listen to things like I am blessed, I am happy, I'm going to have a great day, everything is working out for me. I'll insert the link if you guys are interested, but I actually have an affirmation video that I listen to every single day. The challenge is to listen to the video 21 days straight, and it says it'll completely change the rewiring of your brain as it pertains to how you talk to yourself and as it pertains to what the universe will pull toward you. So again, positive self-talk is super, 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 super important, okay? Another way to build confidence within yourself is I'm starting to become a bit more of an advocate for solo dates. Feeling more comfortable outside in the world by yourself is a confidence no one can take from you. And I'm not saying I get like conflicted of feelings about like solo vacations, if I'm being honest, because sometimes it's not super safe, especially as a woman and especially in today's climate. But I'm a super, super advocate for solo coffee dates. I'm a super advocate for taking a long walk, whether it's through your neighborhood, in a park, whatever the case may be. It's getting cold now, so maybe that's not really the best. But I mean, it's still nice. It's still fall. Go see that foliage like I talked about in the last video. Okay, even solo movie dates, that can be really cool. If nobody wanted to go see that new, I don't know, what's out right now? Whatever, that Jordan Peele movie that came out, but you, girl, go see that by yourself. There's nothing wrong with it. It feels awkward at first, but honestly, it builds in comfort within yourself. You start realizing that you might like your own company sometimes more than you like being around other people. If you're like me, I get overstimulated real quick. Okay, really, really quick. So my expiration and my battery when it comes to experiences with other people, it depreciates really quickly. And don't do nothing I don't like, because now it's really gonna go down real fast. So yeah, I feel like the more you spend more time by yourself, the better you'll feel within yourself. And that's important. Solo dates are a key to unlocking that relationship with yourself, unlocking that comfort with yourself, okay? Another way to kind of formulate this new best friendship with yourself is actually setting hard boundaries. Being your own best friend also means protecting your peace. So stop saying yes when your soul is actually saying no. And yeah, boundaries aren't walls, they're respect. And that also really means setting hard boundaries and sticking to them. I talked about boundaries in my last video, and we're here talking about them again. If you don't set these boundaries as it pertains to how you treat yourself, what your expectations are when people are interacting with you, people are just gonna skate on you like it's a freaking ice skating rink, and you don't want that, because then you kind of come to a place where it's like, how did we get here? And it really starts with how you treat yourself. So being your own best friend really means protecting your peace. Stop saying yes when your soul definitely means no. Boundaries are not walls, they're respect. And if you respect yourself, others around you will fall in line. Boundaries are really hard, but it's important, and you really need to set them. Again, not only for yourself, but for those around you. Another way to really build that best friend kinship with yourself is also learning how to celebrate yourself. We celebrate everyone else on a regular basis. Birthdays, promotions, new relationships. But when do you ever really celebrate you? Even if it's small, say it out loud. I'm proud of me. This goes back to your affirmations. Sorry, that's just random. But yes, write down your affirmations. It's great to say them, but it's also really good to write them down and really drill them into yourself, okay? So yeah, don't forget to celebrate you, because you matter. And the more you celebrate you, the happier you'll feel from within, okay? So another point I want to make as it pertains to really building that best friend relationship with you is do daily check-ins. Do regular check-ins. I know I talked a lot about journaling before. I'm also touching on it here again. It's important to really make sure that you're checking in with your body as well as your mental health. Ask yourself daily, how am I feeling? What do I need? And then honor the answer. Don't just ask yourself these questions, these open-ended questions, and abandon yourself. Really make good on those answers and really try your best to fulfill whatever you're desiring in those moments. It's not always easy. Sometimes we can't always fulfill those desires, but try your best. Keep your word with yourself. So I'm going to actually backtrack a little bit and talk about the importance of journaling. I am a major advocate for journaling. I do it every single day, as I've told you guys before. How cool would it be to start a recurring segment in your journal about this journey you're on? You could call it, what would you call it? Friendship 101 with yourself, right? And really lock in as it pertains to writing to yourself about yourself. I know I keep saying yourself, but this is all about you, girl. It's all about you, okay? It's all about you. This is your time to be selfish. This is your time to really just care about how you feel. The concept of like this self-journal recurring segment thing would really be to talk to yourself the way you would want someone else to talk to you. Talk to yourself in a way that you could uplift yourself and really hone in on how you're feeling and really be there for you. And in this recurring segment, you would really write love letters to yourself, things you admire about yourself, things that you would love to see yourself doing more often. Honestly, just talking to yourself the way you would want your best friend to talk to you. Now that I kind of give you like 5 pointers as it pertains to like the roadmap to your best friendship with yourself, let's kind of touch base on some of the challenges you might come into play with. But just because there are challenges does not mean you shouldn't continue pursuing it. So in this process, you definitely might feel a sense of guilt or selfishness. And I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with that. If you feel it, allow yourself to feel it. But also then remind yourself that you're doing this with a greater purpose in mind. You're doing this to build yourself and to be stronger in mind, okay? So it's not going to always feel like the right thing to do because it's new. But it is the right thing to do. And if you don't do it, no one else is going to do it for you. Going back to boundaries, people may definitely question your new boundaries. People may feel that,
why are you showing up like this? You never used to have a problem with this, or blah, 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 blah.
Speaking up for yourself, people might make you seem like you're kind of confrontational or something like that. And that's fine. Let them think that. Those people are not supposed to be in your life if that's how they feel. There's nothing wrong with feeling how you feel. There's nothing wrong with expressing how you feel. As long as you're not disrespectful, rude, or anything like that, anyone around you should be able to respect these boundaries that you're deciding to set. And you don't always have to explain yourself. You don't always have to explain that I'm in a process of going through myself, this journey. No, you don't need to put that out there. You can just be like, honestly, like, I used to be okay with this, but now I'm not really okay with it. And I hope you can understand that. And they should be, if they care about you, they will try their best to understand it. Again, give them grace too, because they might need some adjustment time. You know, no one's going to just roll over because you feel brand new. Now they want to, now they got to be on board. That's not really fair for you to request that of them. But if you care about the interaction, express to them, you know, I would really appreciate if you respect my boundaries, and leave it at that. Additionally, old habits die hard. I hate the cliche, but it's true. So again, be kind to you. Be kind to yourself. Understand that Rome wasn't built in a day. Look at me with all the cliches. Rome wasn't built in a day. And with that being said, it might take some time. It's going to take some time. It's a journey. What the Nipsey always say, it's a marathon, not a race. So as long as you're taking baby steps in the right direction, you're gonna get there indefinitely. Okay, so just remember that, you know, sometimes we might, guys, my camera keeps dying. And I'm trying to like come back to you guys as business as usual and like stay in the same place until it turns back on, but I am struggling. Anyway, yes, I was saying that Rome was not built in a day, so give yourself grace and understand that sometimes we backtrack. Sometimes we might take, what is the saying? I'm losing the cliches, guys. 1 step forward to take 5 steps back. It's okay as long as you keep taking steps forward. It happens. Roll with it. Roll with it. Okay? So yes. And then lastly, the biggest challenge, I think the hardest part of this process is remembering that growth can sometimes feel very lonely. And it definitely might feel lonely before it feels peaceful. But understand that just because it feels lonely doesn't mean you're alone. You're never alone. If you really lock in with your spirituality, if you really lock in with yourself, if you really lock in with your journaling, if you really lock in, you're never alone, because you have you to rely on. You might get tired of certain things, but you should never give up on yourself, okay? So though it might feel lonely at points, it's okay. Push through it, girl. Push through it, because you're gonna come out on the other side. And I'm saying this to you guys, but I'm also saying it for me. You know, I'm in a transitional stage for sure. You know, people have to prove themselves to you. And people will prove themselves to you. But in the meantime, prove to yourself that you can show up for you at any point and always be there for you. And always be that safe space for yourself to land on. Alright, so now that we've talked about the challenges, let's talk about the transitional stage. The results of self-friendship. I love me a good before and after. The befores, you be looking tore up, baby. You be looking crazy. Eyebrows not done. Face looking patchy, this, that, and the third. You gotta go through that little ugly duckling phase to get to the beautiful swan phase, okay? Not all of us gotta go through it, but a lot of people do. And I feel like you'll appreciate the after going through the before. If that makes sense. So yes, you'll feel more grounded. You'll feel more confident. You'll stop chasing people and looking for validation outside of yourself. That is could be your biggest detriment. Looking for validation, looking for other people to fill you up when you should be filling yourself up. Your standards and boundaries will become clear, and it will set the tone for all of your interactions ultimately, okay? And your relationships will get healthier because you're not pouring from emptiness. You need to pour from a full cup to really have fluid and positive interactions. It's really hard to pour from a cup that has a hole in it. It really, really, really is. You can't do it. It's damn near impossible, because every time you'll pour, it keeps getting lower and lower and lower, and you'll basically be empty, and you'll be pouring in nothing but oxygen. And nobody wants just a bunch of oxygen. We need oxygen. Yes, it's important, but you don't want just enough of that. You can't live off of just oxygen, okay? You need the meat and potatoes, babes. Like, you really need all of it. And if you show up as your full self and your best friend for yourself, you'll be a best friend to others in a better way. Additionally, get to know yourself as it pertains to solo dates. Honestly, if you go on them, you'll start to figure out more hobbies that you're interested in. Having hobbies is an amazing thing. I feel like we don't talk enough about having hobbies, not just doing things because we have to do them, doing things because we genuinely want to do them. That's another form of getting to know yourself. That's another form of having a positive interaction with yourself and listening to what your desires and needs are. When you start doing things that make you happy, like, it'll show in so many different ways. And it's fine to, you're not always going to be able to do them with someone else. You need to be comfortable with doing them with yourself. So whether it's reading, watching a movie, I don't know, going to an exercise class, going to a Pilates class, a dance class, whatever, going to it. I mean, I was talking about cafe and everything before, but like, just put yourself out there and make a schedule for yourself. Try new things for a consistent amount of time. Do it for a month. Say, you know, I'm going to lock in and I'm going to clock into this cafe for 60 days and see how you feel afterwards. Having that time for yourself with yourself. See how you feel afterwards. Sign up for a month-long Pilates class. See how you feel afterwards. You might feel extremely refreshed and brand new because you have a new outlet where you're just channeling time for yourself. So this video wasn't super long. I want us to just rehash what we've already talked about, all right? To make sure that we're all leaving on the same page. So self-love isn't selfish. It's self-sustaining. You deserve your own love first. You are not hard to love. You just need to start with you. This week, take yourself on a date, write a love letter to yourself, or do something kind without guilt. Because honestly, the relationship you build with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship you're going to have, whether it's romantic or platonic. Yours is the most important one. And that should be romantic and platonic. Girl, you need to be your best friend and your lover, okay? Because nobody else gonna do it the way you do it. But yes, that's it for today, my loves. Thank you for tuning in for some more unsolicited advice that you didn't ask for that I give you anyway. And yes, I love you and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Love you. Bye.